All right, another episode of Fear the Walking Dead has come and gone. Forgive me for not knowing it's early and I've had a long weekend. JP, which episode was this?
Number 7, if I'm not mistaken.
Number
One
7.
more until the mid-season finale, yes.
We're the Podcasting Dead. We podcast about several different things, but obviously from the name The Walking Dead and Fear the Walking Dead is the primary focus, I think.
We got our start.
Yeah, I'm Justin.
Oh, I'm Matt. Hello.
He's Matt.
And I'm JP.
And that's JP. And we're discussing the last episode of Fear the Walking Dead. Another good one. I don't feel like I've been disappointed any this season.
The wrong side of where you are now.
The wrong side of where you are now.
Yeah.
Good episode, man. Things are really building up. Tension. I'm telling you, John Dory better live.
I think he will.
He's on the ropes, but
a really good setup episode for what's sure to be a nail biter.
It should be
of
fine.
A mid-season finale.
Yeah, as long as they keep pressure on his wound, he should be fine.
I hope that is that all that it takes.
That's apparently all it took.
He shot him in the head, but keep pressure
and tell him you're going to be okay.
Right,
you have
you're
to
going to
constantly
be okay.
tell him you're okay.
I wonder if there was an exit wound. Did you see an exit wound?
I didn't.
That bullet up
I didn't
inside
look.
him? I didn't look either.
Probably because if he's going to live, it probably is, or they'll just pull the bullet out.
Well, I remember he had just shot, and she was holding that sucker down. She said, "You're going to be okay." And then all of a sudden, they just jerk him up. And
oh yeah.
I mean, I get you got to get out of the bullet fire, but
I find it crazy how
there was a bullet fire.
Is that what you know? What I'm like? The hail of bullet fire.
I'm just picking at you.
What's
I find it funny how they said that you could start watching this without seeing any of the prior seasons, which I could see that because they haven't really, they've referenced things that happened in the past, but I don't think it's absolutely necessary to have seen. However, if you hadn't seen the rest, I would probably hate Alicia and Strand, and you know what I mean? If I didn't see their backstory,
100% true.
I would probably think, wow, these people are douchebags. But
definitely Alicia.
Right.
I feel that because speaking as someone who hasn't watched the past couple of seasons, and I've watched the past couple of episodes.
Right.
Yeah, Alicia. Yeah, re'll see you next Tuesday.
Yeah.
But Strand, I did like the part where he was like, you didn't give up on me, we can't give up on him. Where there was like, what's his with
the leader of the Vultures or whatnot.
Nellis, I can't keep up with all these names.
But
worst. I mean, it's really cool to see this side of Strand.
Yeah.
And I didn't get the chance to see the change. I've seen it complete, 180. It's really cool.
Yeah, hopefully he's changed.
The compassion
I think he's
in his eyes.
I love how the guy's like, you said we could take him. He's like, I was wrong. The whole time they were having that gunfight, I thought, man, it would be nice if Alicia had a grenade and that grenade launcher mounted under her assault rifle, and then
they had to show us the cartridge from it too to let us know. Oh, that was a grenade. Okay,
they're going the way of Resident Evil and Alice. Alicia's got powers. But yeah, I really dug this episode. Like I said, I don't think I've been disappointed any this entire season.
It's been a fast-paced season. Yeah,
I have no complaints.
Even with
really.
the flashbacks, it's moved along really well.
No, I'm not going to say I have no complaints. I'm sure if I dug hard enough, I could come up with some, but I don't have anything that stands out to me,
How old could this baseball stadium be that majority of it is put together with just wooden planks and nails?
Zombie apocalypse, I think a year into the zombie apocalypse is probably like 20 years in the regular world.
Was this baseball stadium from like the 1800s or something?
I think it was probably like a minor league. Like we have one around here. Like it's I would equate it to like the Durham Bulls state, which is that's
she
a
was
big
pulling
brick
it apart like it was a
stadium,
summer stock theater set. I mean, just like pull everybody keep the wood and the nails. We got to use them next year.
Which I think it was easier for her to pull it out of the. I don't know if that was the press box or the dugout. I'd have to go back and watch.
It looked like she was on the field, so it looked kind of like the dugout.
But I think that was easier because they had put them up themselves. You know what I'm saying? So because they had built that room for Naomi, like her bedroom. But yeah, so I'm glad that John is back with Naomi as he lays there possibly dying.
We figured out the Scrabble letters. That was exciting.
The scribble letters.
Did you think those were going to stop the bullets like he'd had
I
in his
really
vest
did.
pocket?
When she pulled them out, she was looking at them. I really hoped she would turn it over and there was like an indentation where a bullet had hit. And then he was like, oh, what was that? Yeah. But nope, there was blood.
And then just like the metal that bent is what cut him and he was bleeding.
That'd have been great.
I was hoping.
Speaking of that, I liked the little subtle, they makeup artist left a little nick in Naomi's neck.
From where he had the knife to it.
Because at first I was like, where? Because she pulled the blood away. And then all she did was just flick him, right? Granted, he had,
she's like, bad.
Ribs, but and he just went, oh!
Yeah, she's like, bad. Oh! I wish it was that easy.
Just a flesh wound.
Stop touching me. Yeah, batted him away like he was a misbehaving kid. Mm-hmm. Do you think that he really doesn't know that what his story was true? Because, I mean, the thing is, we did see he and his brother separated in the future when Nick found his brother. It was just his brother and Charlie. Do we think that the brother's lying? By like is he setting them up? Because he's the one, of course, they found, he came there, he left, and they went back to get him, and he's telling them, y'all need to get out of here. Do you think maybe like his plan was just to scare them out before they actually had to release the zombies? Or do you think that he and his brother actually had a falling out?
I think they fell out. I think he's tired of, like invading people's homes with zombies, and it's just like, enough of this. It's enough. I mean, we've been cooking out in these people's driveway. Why are we going to do this? I don't want to do it.
That is definitely Madison's like attitude right now. It's just she's done with it. Like she looks very fed up.
Too bad they don't it's too bad it's concrete out there in the parking lot. Because man, I would just whenever I fortified anything in the zombie apocalypse, I would try my best to dig like a deep ass trench. Like we said, almost like a moat or something around if you're going to be there long term. Just for an instance like this or a herd of zombies that comes in, they'll just drop in and you can just easily dispose of them.
And we figured out what all the banners meant. They were just head counts.
Yep. How many zombies?
Different corrals. Yeah, that's a lot of zombies.
No kidding, man. They had a whole truckload full of just I thought at first when he's and he opened up the back of the truck, all the dead zombies were going to be in the truck. It's like, why did you bring them back? But it was just a bunch of flags with numbers on it.
Yeah, they should have figured out a way to murder all of those vultures when they were just chilling, out there in the parking lot. They should have. Well, I mean, Madison did see it coming for sure, but then got comfortable, got soft.
I like when they drove the SWAT vehicle up in there, man. So many zombies.
Yeah.
So many zombies.
Now they got to get John Dory to the infirmary.
Man, when she had to whip out the guns in her SWAT vehicle on Alicia, man, severing some ties there. Yeah, it's.
Well, but then Strand and what's the other woman there?
Luciana.
Luciana, such an exotic name. Yeah. But anyway, I was like, where were they? Which I guess they couldn't really do anything anyway with the guns pointed. Okay.
And then she leaves on what they know is an armored bulletproof truck, but they're just shooting little pot shots like F you.
Just to prove a point. Right, well, that's what I was like, where's your, I guess, one grenade. That's all you had, right? One grenade.
And she used it on the ambulance.
Good thing you used that, and then you had to kill him anyway with your bare hands.
No kidding.
At least what was that, like a muffler from a
it looked like some kind of muffler or a heat shield or something that you would have like on a machine gun. Or I think that's what it is. It's the heat shield from like a machine gun. It's
conveniently
been
dagger shaped.
Which, I mean, that sucker must be thick because I've got, like a quad rail on one of my guns and it's not thick enough. I mean, it's just aluminum. So, I mean, it would last a few, but it wouldn't take too many before it started getting dented and dinged. And,
It's not thick enough.
That's the problem.
You said that. I just want to let you know that that's what you said.
Let's just lay it all out there.
All right.
No, I mean, it's stronger than that, but I'm just saying that's a strong heat shield, which then again, I don't own.
So it should easily pierce someone's
big
head.
Machine gun either. So it might be a lot thicker on that.
It's like some reinforced steel.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
But yeah, so she's making that bad boy a kick-ass weapon.
Where does she keep it when she's not?
She had it like hanging on her side. It was weird. I saw when she was walking up at one point in the episode, you could see it's like on her side.
So maybe she's got like a little bitty U hook or like one of those S hooks and going into her belt, and then it's hooking through one of those holes.
Yep. Or she's just like sliding it between her belt and her pants, and it's just like holding it there. But I don't know.
That sounds dangerous. Mm-hmm. Sounds really dangerous.
At least
like a lot of women keep it in her bra. That's even more dangerous. Just start pulling like all sorts of weapons like out of her bra. Like, wow, that's impressive.
I feel like Dwight on The Office when he's getting pulled over as he's getting throwing weapons out the window. But so lots of setup, like JP said, great setup, and it's hard to believe that this next episode will be the mid-season finale, and then we're gonna have to go.
How long?
A little while. I don't know. How long is it? A month or two?
I'm on it. Hold on.
I feel sad that I don't know that. But so much going on. But yeah, so I don't know.
How'd you feel when Madison opened the gates and she's just staring into, just you see the flames reflecting on her face and she's going out there to rescue Nick and Alicia?
Nice imagery, like the orange, the fire, which is, I guess, representing the fire in her heart, right?
Yeah, if you want to look that deep into it.
I try to do what I can.
But yeah, it was, I don't know, man. I've said I don't know, man, like 4 times this podcast.
But you don't know,
man.
I
don't know.
I get it.
I don't know. But yeah, when one of those times where she should have listened, like they should have, and she probably thought that it was a bluff or that, good Lord, I got to work on saying that. Crutch phrase. But she probably thought it was a bluff. It's one of those times where if they could have just gotten out of there originally when they first got this guy and he was telling them what happened, they should have just fled. I mean, I wonder. I feel like they almost did have a falling out though, because I don't feel like that guy would have released all those zombies knowing Charlie was in there.
Yeah, for sure.
5 truckloads worth of zombies. I counted when they were driving down.
Like one,
I did. I was like 1, 2. And also when the guy, like, I get, again, it's part of the story. I don't mean to nitpick everything, but I'm going to anyway. When he closes up and they're putting the zombies in, he's walking by the thing. He's walking extremely too close to the side of that truck.
Right.
And then because I was thinking, I was like, why is he walking? And then he does that little move where the zombie touches his shoulder.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, just take an extra foot to your left. Yeah. Like, why would you walk that close?
He's like, I'm a badass. Oh, snap. Okay.
That's exactly
that
it.
was close.
The zombies can't get me. Oh, gotta touch me.
Touch me. It's so icky. But no, 5 trucks. You watched a lot of Sesame Street as a kid, didn't you? You used to be like 1 truck.
Yeah, the count terrified the absolute crap out of me, but I learned
3.
good math skills.
Were you doing the count voice?
I did.
5 trucks.
I did. 6. No 6. And that's when I messed up and I felt bad.
Yeah, that's when you went from 4 to 6.
If
and
you
were
count
like,
the ice cream truck, you know what? The only thing that would have made that scene better if someone would have put in some ice cream truck music with that.
Have that one stupid character that's like, ooh, they've got ice cream. We should listen to them.
Back of that.
We should.
Yeah, that's so. But they got ice cream. Open up the gate.
Open the gates.
What? We've got to go get some ice cream.
I want a dreamsicle.
Oh, I want a rocket pop. Yeah.
So JP, what are you thinking? You look like you have something to say over there.
No. I don't know, man. It was a good one. Good setup.
It was.
Maybe we'll finally find out what happened to Madison. Maybe.
I'm so anxious to learn. Because in the previews, one listener pointed out, and I didn't think about this, but in the previews for like the season, as they were building up for the premiere, it shows Morgan and Madison talking. So she's got to survive this unless it was just a fake out. Kind of like the Avengers Infinity War had the Hulk in the Wakanda battle, but he wasn't. Oops, sorry. Spoiler alert. Sorry. If you ain't seen it by now, I apologize.
Oh, are you kidding me?
Right. It's been out. I've seen it 4 times. How have you not seen it once?
Well, I was going to say, what is the cutoff limit for spoilers like that? Like,
right.
And if for a movie like that, if you say you're such a big fan that you care about spoilers, but you haven't seen it yet, you're not.
Yeah,
right.
Get out of here.
Get out of here.
So that's one little spoiler. It doesn't mess with the plot or too bad, but But yeah, unless they film that just to throw us off, which they might have, but it seems like she lives. I just don't know. Like, I feel like they think she's dead. Like, maybe they think that she died with the stadium. Maybe they'll see her kind of. What was it? Remember when Michonne saw that terribly animated deer on The Walking Dead and all the zombies kind of jumped on it and she thought it was Rick for a second?
Oh, yeah.
Or what was it? Remember Carol? No, not Carol, sorry. Andrea in season 2 where the zombies take her down and Carol thinks she's dead. Like, she gets in the truck and tells them, they got Andrea, go, go, go. Yeah. But Andrea lived. I think we might have one of those situations where they think Madison's dead. Maybe she gets taken down by zombies. Maybe she's surrounded or whatever. Mm-hmm. And that's why they're so vengeful. They think she's dead, but she's actually escaped, and we'll meet up with them at some point after they finish their murderous rampage.
Knowing that the vultures were going to weaponize the zombies, everyone in the stadium should have just, got some skin suits on, splashed on some blood and guts. They would have been fine. They could have just kept chilling.
Especially with Nick there, that's still,
Which, granted,
I don't know that they keep zombies in there, though. I mean, they would have to have.
They could have rounded up a couple.
Ted. No one here likes Ted, right? Wait, what? All right, put his guts on you. Come on, wrap those intestines around your neck. But yeah, no, I don't think they have zombies. That would work, but I don't think they have any zombies in the walls. So
I forget the zombies were on fire, though. It's not going to protect them from flaming zombies.
No.
That's one thing I do like about this show. Between this and The Walking Dead, though, is watching some of the strategies that like the villains will use. Like Negan in season 6, where they're running through the woods and they've got all the roads blocked off and end up kind of steering them right to where they want them to be. And I'm trying to think of other things like this, but we've seen some good strategies.
Oh, the way they weaponize the zombies, absolutely. Yeah, man.
And then we saw in season 3 where the governor kind of pulled this on a much smaller scale. Had that truck bust up in the gates and drop a few zombies, which is when I thought Herschel was going to die. I just remember being so tense. That's one of my favorite scenes.
It was a good one
in The Walking Dead ever, because they released those, and that's when Daryl and Merle had left. And, Rick's just out, finally, like, snapped out of his crazy, and he's, like, chunking zombies in the face with his gun, and then all of a sudden Daryl and Merle pop back up. Oh, man, that's one of my favorite moments in that show. I just remember being on, and you see Michonne running, like, Ninja Gaiden style with, like, the blade of her sword dragging against the grass, and she's just, like, chopping through the zombies. That's one of my favorite scenes in that show.
In my head just now.
I love it, because you just see the sword go shh, and she's just running along the grass with it in her hands, and then... but anyways, different show.
And I know we Well, I'll wait till we finish recapping this because I have a couple of Walking Dead questions.
Yeah, we'll talk about the upcoming Rick Grimes.
Well, also there's a Michonne thing I wanted to bring up.
I hear it's rumored. Side note that she's rumored to be leaving too.
Well, that's the whole thing is that she's getting Marvel money now.
Oh yeah,
it's like why would she want to waste her time? No,
well, she barely was able to be in like last season, or this maybe it was season 4, but with like last season or two, she was very short because of her filming schedule. So. But yeah, I read on comicbook.com that there's rumors that she's leaving. It's like Rick's the cool kid. Everyone loved Rick or Andrew Lincoln. He's like, I'm leaving. They're like,
it's like he was the center of the show.
It's almost like we started with him.
Weird.
Yeah, I don't know if it's such a good move for him, though. I think we all remember what happened to David Duchovny when he left the X-Files in like season 7.
I brought up David Caruso last week.
Oh, yeah.
So same kind of thing.
Yeah.
Horatio on CSI.
Right.
Because he left NYPD Blue for a while.
Yeah. But yeah. David Duchovny thought he was going to have this big movie career. I think he was in one big thing with like a
Evolution.
Yeah. That
Andrew Lincoln as the new Wolverine in the MCU.
Yeah.
It's like, isn't he just as old as Hugh Jackman?
I think Andrew Lincoln is in like his late 40s, maybe mid 40s ish, somewhere in that range.
I'm on it.
He was in like his late 30s, I believe, when they started the show, and then about season.
Oh, you mean Andrew Clutterbuck?
Andrew Clutterbuck, which sounds a lot like Andrew Clutter.
Yep. 44, good
Cluster.
call.
He's 44. Yeah, and he's like maybe mid.
How old is Hugh Jackman?
He's probably closer to 50, isn't he? I'm bad at guessing ages.
He's 49. So you are good at guessing ages. You got 2 for 2 here. All right, let's go for a different one. How old is David Duchovny?
I'd like to see him
54.
take over the lead. He could be the new Rick Grimes.
54.
Just recast.
No.
He's one of my favorite actors.
Stop it. No. No.
David Duchovny age. I can't type. Oh, he's 57.
I said 54, so I wasn't too far off. Damn.
All right, let's quit while you're ahead.
Like work at the carnival where I guess your age.
I would always guess like way over on women's weight anytime they just came up. Just be like, 300 pounds. It's like this girl, it's like 102 pounds.
Oh man, but no, David Duchovny needs to stay away from The Walking Dead. They recast Rick. I would not just because. It would have to be a hell of an actor though. You'd have to bring in someone that is just phenomenal to take that because Andrew Lincoln is just own that
He's
role.
No David Duchovny though. Get out of here.
Oh, Andrew Lincoln is.
They're both searching
beyond
for the truth.
David. He's beyond him in acting.
Oh, stop it.
David Duchovny would come to this show and be like, "I think the zombies. There's something out there.
I think the zombie. I can't.
There's more to it than
you guys
this."
have clearly you haven't watched Californication. He's got such a wide range as an actor.
It's all right.
I've seen it.
That's
I know
a good show.
Yeah, Californication was pretty much an exaggerated version of David Duchovny himself.
That's
he was
what
just
made
playing,
it so great.
Exactly.
There's just blowjobs everywhere, and
That's all that was.
Stuff flying all over the place.
it's like Shameless. Just lots of sex, which I know
tried to
everybody.
get into Shameless.
I did too. My girlfriend loves it. I tried to watch it. I'm like, I don't hate it if it's on. I can watch it, but I'm not going out of my way or super excited
William
to.
H. Macy is so great in that.
They're all a-holes, and I don't like it when the central characters are all jerks.
Right.
Like they literally all.
I find it hard to root for them.
Yeah, pretty much. That's why the early seasons of The Office, I'm just like, oh, Steve Carell, his Michael Scott was just a
douche
piece of work.
I watched the first season of the British version of that show. And
now David Brent that's what they were originally going for,
right?
But he's just an unapologetic jerk. Mm-hmm. Whereas with Michael Scott, they kind of thank you, welcome back to the Office recap hour.
Mm-hmm. Anyways, we got.
Sorry, I saw myself going down that road and I stopped.
But yeah, so I guess that is a way we could wrap up this episode because it was a good episode. I am super excited to see where it goes. Like I said, my prediction is going to be that they think Madison dies in the stadium. Like maybe she'll die trying. Well, they'll see her. They'll think she's dead in an attempt to save them or something. Mm-hmm. Especially with them being trapped out in the parking lot. I don't know if she'll try to. Maybe she'll drive out there and get swarmed, and they'll think she dies. Something. That's my prediction is that they think Madison dies, and
so
but she
Madison
doesn't.
So why is it twice in this episode people just stop and then let zombies surround their car instead of just maybe drive a couple of feet or just move just a couple of inches? I don't know.
It's like here's the zombies. We want to be away from the zombies.
And just don't stop and let them surround you. Why would you do that?
I don't know. I'd have to go back and watch the episode to see if there was something stopping them.
So at the beginning of the next episode, are they just going to open up the side panels and just gun down a lot of the zombies?
That's what I'm thinking.
Or just
see
keep
that bad
rolling.
boy and
Start your car up and just get.
That sucker will definitely plow through them, unlike any other vehicle.
Everybody, hang on. We have to hit this flimsy wooden gate.
Yeah, I'm gonna be. It's interesting. It's gonna be interesting to see how Naomi ends up with. I see what I think is gonna happen is obviously we've got Naomi with the Vultures, and we saw the two brothers were separated, so probably but see, somehow he got back with Charlie. The brother that Nick killed got back with Charlie somehow. I was going to say my prediction is going to be that, the brother that they saved was trying to warn them. So that's why Naomi goes with him. But Alicia and them aren't aware of this. Like, they think he's in on it. So being that Naomi leaves with him and the people that weren't with his brother, that's why she thinks she betrayed him and all of that. But then again, I don't know. Somehow Charlie winds back up with the brother that is doing all of this. So I don't know. It's going to be real. I like that, unlike the sister series, I feel like we talked about The Walking Dead, but I just love how this one has us theorizing different ways things can play out. I feel like I can get more discussion out of this.
We're on uncharted water,
But no one lets anybody explain anything in this show. Like, Naomi's right there, let me explain. And then she's like, no, ready to shoot. Just take 10 seconds and let her tell you what happened.
Right.
Oh, really? Okay, that'll save us a lot of time.
Alicia's having a lot of trouble with that. She's definitely become the shoot first, ask questions later type. I mean, she's becoming like a hardened badass, and especially with Nick being dead now. I mean, she's just kind of... And then when Luciana came face-to-face with Charlie, I was like, is she going to mow down this little girl? But fortunately, she didn't. And, of course, Morgan... coming to save the day.
Oh, Morgan.
I'm going to save you.
I'm glad that leg is healing up.
Yeah.
He's moving right along.
Oh, Morgan.
Did he throw his stick at one point at the beginning of the episode when something, I don't know.
I think he threw it when he got in a truck or something.
Oh,
like
okay.
that.
Is that what he did? Because I don't know. I just saw him go, I was like, it's like Thor's hammer. Does it just come right back to you? That's cool.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool. Morgan is as the Thor of the Walking Dead Avengers.
Well, in the comic, Donald Blake's walking staff, that's what turned into
his umbrella.
Hammer,
Yeah, it was an umbrella at one point, wasn't it?
It was an umbrella in the movie.
Yep.
Umbrella. It was an umbrella in the Ragnarok movie. He
That's the country version of that Rihanna song, Under My Umbrella.
But remember when he's in Doctor Strange's house on Ragnarok and he calls, he's like, I need to get he might actually call it his hammer then, but he's got his umbrella and it's just like you hear it crashing through Doctor Strange's sanctorium, whatever they call it.
Yeah, that's it.
And it's just like, he's like, sorry. Yeah. But anyway, so yeah, great episode. Put your hands under the desk. Let's rate it on a scale of 1 to 5 stars.
JP, put it under your part of the desk, not mine.
It doesn't mean you have to touch it.
Keep your hands over there. How difficult is that?
All right, ready? 3, 2, 1. JP giving it a 3. Are you just trying to copy Matt?
My score doesn't even matter. Let's just always remember that.
Matt and JP both on 3. So JP, why are you giving it a 3 when normally you are the one to give it really good rating?
I'm just probably having an off morning. I enjoyed it.
Don't let your day be affected by the TV show and vice versa.
No, I enjoyed the episode. I don't know. I mean, it was kind of a build-up episode, which is fine. I love seeing Madison looking into the fires, and I love the charbroiled zombies.
That imagery really struck you, didn't it?
It did.
Hold the door, the fire, the orange light on her face.
I can't explain the way it made me feel.
Okay.
But no, I liked it. Like I said, I'm just my morning's a 3.
Okay, so then what is the episode? Is it still a 3?
No, it's sitting around a 3 or maybe a 3.5.
I'm going to give it a 4 because it didn't blow my mind, but at the same time, it was a great episode, solid episode, good build up, good acting, good suspense. I feel like this season of the show, I've never felt a point where I'm just kind of like, yawn, can we please move? You know what I'm saying? Like this whole season's been pretty quick paced and a lot of things happening. So, and
that's usually the purpose of a penultimate episode is for the build up. So
you know what I'm thinking? Maybe came between the brothers. I think the one was like, look, it's not like they even have that much in the stadium at this point anyway. Is it worth the gas?
Well, but they just saw them roll back in, though. Remember, that's why they left, because they just saw them roll in with a crap load of supplies.
Well, I mean, most of it was for gardening, right? It was mostly just for the crops, and when you release all these zombies, they're going to traipse through the turnips anyway.
Traipse right through those turnips.
So, I mean, I know they had some medicine stuff. I know they had some guns, but, I mean, I think one brother at this point is just doing it for fun, Why not? We got all these zombies. Why not flood into this encampment? And the other one's like, hey, man.
The classic case of that's not who we are.
Is it really worth the trouble?
Is it who we are? Because I feel like who we are changes from day to day.
But yeah, so good episode. I am excited for the next one. And before we wrap up, let's talk a little bit more about the Andrew Lincoln thing.
It's been confirmed.
Yeah, it's confirmed. They've giving Norman Reedus $20 million to take the lead.
Ridiculous. That is freaking ridiculous. Like, how bad? How do you think Lauren Cohen felt?
Oh yeah, she had to haggle with them just to get a price to stay.
$20 million? Are you kidding me?
I say give it to Maggie over Daryl any day.
Well, I mean,
disperse it amongst the cast a little bit more. Jeez,
they got to have a strong lead. They had to have something to keep him.
I read that and that pissed me off. Are you kidding me? They didn't. How is it he can hold? I don't get it. I don't know how
season 3,
Daryl
season
Dixon has
4,
so much control over
maybe
the show.
even season 5. Daryl, if Rick
Peak
was going to
Daryl,
leave,
yeah.
I could be like, well, you know what? Though I do like Daryl. At that point in the show, he was one of my favorite characters, so I would be more okay with that Daryl taking over. Maybe they're going to try to get, but it's like it's too late, man. You left that Daryl behind several seasons ago, and I've just gotten to the point where I just don't really care about Daryl. So now you're taking a character that was once great and is now pretty bland and saying he's going to lead the show. I mean, it's really looking rough for The Walking Dead.
I'm excited. I feel like
you're not.
I am. I think this
not.
is a
Don't
clean
play.
slate, and we get to go into uncharted waters in the main series.
Don't feed into this.
You
I'm
don't
excited.
believe that.
How can Norman Reedus? Like, I know he's just doing his job. I get a job and he's working
Norman
it.
Reedus.
But how can he be
Daryl.
comfortable with this?
All right.
Like, I feel like he's going to come out with
comfortable. That's
that
how
is
he's
very
comfortable.
true. He's like, I don't have to be comfortable, bro. How do you sleep at night with Egyptian cotton sheets?
Right,
and
on my California king size
yep.
bed. Yep, I sleep very well.
I think he's going to be a good
foam
lead.
mattress.
No, you don't, JP. I don't believe that you truly think that.
That would imply that. I mean, so if they do another season.
Yeah,
with
another
Daryl
5 seasons, hopefully 10 seasons.
With Daryl as the main character, and his writing starts getting good, and his character gets better. That's going to be complete bullshit.
No.
Yes, because why couldn't they do this? Like, why couldn't they? Why have they pushed his character to like the wayside, but still kept him around?
Fanfare.
When was the last time you heard someone say "fire Daryl" or we riot or something like that? Like, I haven't heard that. That was just a fad. I'm sorry. I know there are people that like him, but you cannot tell me you like his. They have got every single person that I've heard talk about how much they love Daryl. It's always because, he's just such a badass, and he's so dark and dangerous.
I like it. It really remembers.
It's like, what about
talking to a bunch of Southern white women?
Yep, absolutely. The ladies' circle at the church down the road. Yeah,
it reminds me when Eric Foreman left that '70s show, and they kind of moved Hyde more towards the forefront.
And
you were just like, man, this show is so much more badass.
It's just like with Hyde, they completely changed his character. Like he became more sentimental. Like the whole thing with getting married to the stripper and all that.
But people grow. They grow as individuals.
But not.
This is more true to life.
But you're saying that
you want it to be a cartoon, and I'm tired of watching cartoons with you every Saturday morning. It's over.
They're all educational. That's the only reason you're married.
All right, before you two break up, let's wrangle this thing back in. All right.
So you're saying that someone can grow like 6 to 7 seasons. Mm-hmm. They don't have to grow. But they can grow in one season and it's fine. That feels like lazy writing.
I've been through those spells.
I'm telling you, it all goes back to the.
You've never walked in my shoes.
You're right. You're right. You wear like tight fitting. You have narrow feet. I can't fit those.
The start of the decline of this show was the whole cliffhanger season 6,
Absolutely.
without a doubt. Where they jumped the shark, in my opinion, is killing Carl because the show was the show was kind of going down at that point. But I mean, it was still kicking ass. It's still, even at its lowest, was still kicking ass in ratings. Where they screwed themselves. Because, I mean, that's pretty much why Andrew Lincoln, from what I've read, is leaving. Because he's like, well, I felt like Rick's entire purpose in life was to build this world for Carl. Mm-hmm. Like, that's what drove Rick to be the badass that we know and love. Every, instance of him being this ultimate badass was driven by Carl. And now that Carl's gone, the actor feels that it's time for the character's story to end. Had you have kept Carl alive, then Andrew Lincoln would still be in the show because, again, he has something to fight for. He's trying to guide Carl, help him to grow,
it's also
build this world.
If you do good with a show and you treat it like you care and you treat it with passion and you write it correctly, your actors are going to want to stay.
Yep.
Because it's going to. I think a lot of them are seeing that it's going downhill.
Jumping off the ship before it sinks.
Which I thought the jumping the shark was Glenn underneath the dumpster. Like that's where I felt they kind of.
I felt that was a mess up, but I still really enjoyed it past that point. Like where I feel like it's just like I don't. When that happened, I do feel like it was a mess up, but I don't feel like it was completely jumping the shark because there was still hope and there still were people. Like now, it's pretty much universal. Like what blew my mind is like if we would have went back when we were podcasting at that time and said The Walking Dead, it's on a decline now. It's over. It's going to be done soon. People would have still been like, "What are you talking?" Now that now that once Carl died, and we were like, the show's probably going to be done soon. Then he's leaving, and now everyone. I was blown away by the support in the comments of people going, "Yeah, the show is pretty much over." I feel like with the Glenn Dumpster thing, while people might have agreed and been like, "Yeah, that was a cheap move. That was stupid." I feel like they still had hope in the show, but now with Carl gone and Andrew Lincoln leaving because Carl's gone. Most of the fans that comment in our comment section have lost hope as well.
Well, that's the thing. End the show on a good note. Like, end the show and everybody's like, man, that was a great, like Breaking Bad. They didn't go on too long. They ended right when they should have and completed the story instead of just limping along and dragging along and keep doing stuff to get people to talk and keep people on stupid cliffhangers.
Well, at least Lost did the same thing,
Were you agreeing? Were you like testifying? Were you like, amen?
No, I was just like, this is all he's doing. Just blah, blah, blah.
Whatever. All right. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see how you feel next year.
I'm excited.
He's not.
I hope you're right. You know what, JP? I hope you're right. I hope it becomes an amazing show and everybody's like, oh my God, who knew that all we needed was Daryl Dixon as the main character? And then they go for another 5 or 6 seasons a movie.
Have I ever given you a reason not to trust me?
Plenty of times. Need I bring up last weekend?
No.
Okay.
It's going to be good.
All right. Well, we're going to end this podcast on that note and begin couples therapy for these two. I'm going to try to bring you two back together. But so we will see you next week for the season 4. Man, I'm all over. The season 4 mid-season finale of Fear the Walking Dead.
September. Comes back in September.
What?
That's season
The Walking
3,
Dead or
Fear the Walking Dead.
September.
Last year
it
was
is June.
Yeah,
I'm still thinking.
I know. I thought about that today. Where has this year gone?
I'm like, wow, that's so far away. Really not. It's like a couple, 3-4 months. Yeah. So, all right, we will see you next week for the mid-season finale. I'm Justin.
I'm Matt.
And JP.
Okay, so last weekend